This is the all-new Toyota Corolla Cross, a fresh new design that was unveiled in July this year. Let's take a look at the heart of this thing, albeit a very tiny heart. So, despite the size of this vehicle and how it might seem while it's on the road, it's actually not an SUV because it's full-time or front-wheel drive instead of all-wheel drive, which would have made it an SUV. So what we have here is a 1.8-litre engine that generates 142 horsepower and 172 Newton meters of torque, which is quite decent for this car. That is mated to a 5-speed automatic transmission that actually feels quite amazing while you're driving it on back roads like this one. It was unveiled in Thailand last year as a more practical and larger alternative to the CHR and built on the same GAC platform as the E210 Corolla series. The Corolla Cross is however positioned between the CHR and the RAV4 within Toyota's crossover SUV lineup. Personally, I think that the Corolla Cross eats up into the brand's overall market share. They already have the CHR and the RAV4 within the stables, and adding the Cross to it, albeit a normal Corolla wearing high heels, seems risky. Not forgetting that other brands like Mazda and their CX-5 and Nissan with their X-Trail are already cannibalizing the segment. But again, I could be mistaken, as SUVs and crossover are all the rage in the car world right now. So, inside the Corolla Cross, the most pronounced thing is this infotainment system that comes with it. It has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which is actually amazing. We were testing it on our way here and it's actually very beautiful. The sound system on this vehicle as well, absolutely top notch. Now, the seats are very comfortable, wrapped in leather, not fake leather, real leather. It's actually very good. All the plastic bits look like leather, but they're not. A bit scratchy, but that can be forgiven given the fact that this is the higher spec model of the Toyota Cross that goes for 4.6 million shillings, and the lower spec model goes for around 4.4 million shillings. And there is a hybrid version that is not yet in the Kenyan market that will be on sale soon. The steering wheel of this vehicle is actually amazing. It has the multi-functioning capabilities, all of them here, so you can actually pick your calls, adjust the volume of the vehicle. Everything you need to do, you can do it on this steering wheel. And you have this digital display here that is actually very nice and very well lit. You can see it even during the day with the sun glaring and all that. Perfectly amazing. The first impression when you're looking at the face of the new Corolla Cross is that it's actually quite simple. It's not overly complicated like other Corolla brands. This one actually has the headlights that make it look a bit like the Fortuner, you know, giving it that SUV-ish feel. The face of it is actually very simple. The grille is plastic. You have this spotlights over there that come in the high-spec vehicle. Now, moving to the side of the vehicle, the first thing you'll actually notice, given the name Cross, is the ride height. This car has 161 millimeters of ground clearance, which is way much than the previous Corolla, which this car is based off of. And the side profile of this car is actually amazing. It looks like the RAV4 with the high waistline over here, and you see this arches here that accentuate the car. Now this one comes with disc brakes all over and 17.8-inch rims as standard. Now to the back, it's quite uneventful, but what really annoys me with Toyota is the fact that they've tried hiding that this car is actually a Corolla. I wouldn't hide the fact that it's a Corolla. I mean, Corollas have sold over 48 million so far since they were launched. I wouldn't hide that fact. I'd hide the fact that it's a Cross but not the Corolla. That's my opinion. The Toyota Corolla sales have dominated the entire automobile industry for several years. Believe it or not, but 1 out of every 5 Toyotas sold is a Corolla. For people who want a luxurious and performance-oriented vehicle, the Cross could be the right option. Since it's one of the most popular units manufactured by Toyota, you can be assured of reliability, safety, and a good resale value. If you don't already know, the Toyota Corolla comes in 2 variants, the Corolla Altis, a sedan, and this one, the Corolla Cross. Both models have a distinct feature that make them one of the best in their respective categories. So what is it like driving the Corolla Cross? Well, given the fact that this is a raised Corolla, gives you a bit more confidence when you're approaching bumps, and that's something that we talked about earlier. But now driving it, it's actually even better when you're feeling it and experiencing it. We tested the Starlet a few weeks ago, and I actually think that it has the same ride height as the Corolla, and with that we had to approach a lot of the bumps along Kiambu Road and most parts of Nairobi at an angle. And with this one, you just approach it normally like you would in maybe a pickup or a mid-sized SUV. And that's another thing that I want to talk about. This car is not an SUV. An SUV, the word SUV, sports utility vehicle, the utility part of this car is not there, because this is a full-time front-wheel drive car that is just made for city runabouts and hauling all your family members plus all your luggage in the back. It has a capacity of about 345 liters with the rear seats occupied, but with the rear seats folded, that increases significantly to about 760 liters. So that is quite a lot of space that you can use if you're not carrying anyone, and if you want to move items from one place to another. That is another use you can get from the Corolla Cross. Another factor that I mentioned earlier that makes the Toyota Corolla Cross and the Toyota brand in general the most preferred vehicle in the world is its exceptional resale value. Since it's a popular vehicle, people are ready to buy second-hand Toyota Corollas, even if it means paying extra for it.